welcome back. We are continuing our work on Child of Ether. Let's get the tools working, shall we? So we have a bunch of these stations that are meant to allow the player turn things like ambers, crystals, and gems into dusts. There's another station for distilling those dusts into liquids, and then another station for combining the various liquids together in order to make potions with various buffs. And then there's a final one where you can combine different dusts together in order to get alternate gem types. So, here's what we need to do. We need to first apply the texture. Do we have a material for this? I don't think we do. Let's get into sprites. Or, I guess, is it sprites or is it textures? Crafting. Dilution station. Okay, these are the individual sprites. Okay, might be in textures then. Crystal press. Dilution station. It's got to be here. Grinding bench, right? Yeah. Hey, look at that. Except, where's my material? Hello? What the heck? Okay. So we'll do this. Drop it in here. And then save the material. Okay, where do we save this? Sure. Now, the grinding station has a piece of user interface here that is supposed to behave, but it does not. We have the wheel, we have the handle, we have the axis. Okay. We have the press slider. Mouse tracker. Okay, so what's the issue right now? Well, the issue right now is that we can't actually move the wheel for some reason. Okay, so you can see there's no interaction. Don't even know if it reports on mouse detection. So let's take a look. Value changed. What the? Really? Interesting. So I used something in here. I think the crafting interface might be blocking our mouse. Maybe. Or maybe it's something else that's on top of the gameplay. Color rect. That's a little point in space. Okay, this panel's behind. Yup. Okay. I guess this guy got messed up. Grabber area. It's an empty. Hmm. Interesting. Icons. Tick. Grabber disabled. Okay. So where do we supply the back end of this? Huh. We got the handle. That's the wheel. Could always just give it a texture rect. And just stretch it out here. And then give it grabber, wheel slide. Slide background. Yes. That's what we want. Okay. Now. Is this going to work? You need to run this scene. Nope. Interesting. Hmm. So it has a function here. Hold on. Is there a piece of code that might be messed up here? Hmm. Okay. There we go. So there's a press slide value changed. This will tell us if the slide is actually receiving value changes. I run the right scene. Okay. Okay. So there's no interaction whatsoever. Hmm. Now, it could very well be that this is because this is located like somewhere far off. Layer 40. Layer 40. Well, it allows the mouse to stop on it. Does it detect when the mouse enters? Let's try this. Nope, does not detect it. So that tells us that there's something on top of it that is blocking it. And you know what? I might even know what. We have the global environment. Nope, that's debug stuff. We have an overlay that displays all of the transitions, and we recently added another transition type. Let's see. I think overlay GUI, and we have the circle fade. It needs to ignore the mouse. let's see. Protagonist's house, go back here. Because it's a auto load, it's probably existing on top of everything. Hey, test mouse entered. Ah, look at that. It works. Now, that's cool, but there seems to be some messed up things. First of all, this inventory slot is technically supposed to be, well, it's supposed to be in here. Okay, pretty sure we want to let the game move stuff around freely. Let's see. As a matter of fact, do we even need this? Okay. Now, this is wheel bottom, and then this is wheel top. Now the wheel top is constantly rotating. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, so the way we made the wheel top rotate with the mouse is a really old method. But essentially it is by rotating 180 degrees, radiant degrees, and we calculate the angle to the mouse. So we no longer have to do this because we now know how to work with the radians. And we're going to do wheel top rotation is going to be equals to take the global position of the wheel top axis, which is in the middle. Yep, right smack in the middle of it. We calculate angle to point, mouse tracker. Now, mouse tracker is kind of not required anymore because we're not going to be using it anymore. We could just work with the mouse position directly. So we can do get viewport, get mouse position. Now, this is not going to smoothly rotate it. Oops. Let's run the right scene. Okay, so you see it's just always following the mouse. What we're gonna do is make the rotation smoothly transition by setting, by doing this. First, var final angle equals the angle to the mouse position. Then here, we're gonna lerp angle. We're gonna interpolate the angle. This is the final angle. We're gonna interpolate by 0.1% or 10% technically. And then this is the starting angle. So lerp angle will translate from this angle to this angle by 10%. And because this whole thing runs in a physics process or process function, it's going to run all the time. Now, let's see. Okay, there we go. So it's following. Now, we need to make sure that this only works when we grab the handle. So, How do we know if we grab the handle? Just gonna close all this stuff. Well, you see, we do have the handle here. And what we could do, it has a GUI input event, which is right here. We take the event, and then we could check by event type, but I kind of feel like I should just use these ones. Left mouse. So if input is action just pressed, left mouse. Okay. Then handle held becomes true. And then when we let go, left mouse. What the heck is a QB left mouse? That's an old definition. QB right mouse, QB left mouse, it's literally the same thing. All right, fair enough. So when we let go, handle held becomes false, and when we press on it, becomes true. Okay. Now, current wheel angle, I don't think is required anymore. And then handle position old is also not required anymore. Okay, so we don't need this. All this extra stuff. Handle position old. Calculate handle travel distance. We might need to keep this. Because if it's if our hand moves too far away from the handle, we need to let go. Right? That's the idea. Also, handle travel distance. This is for calculating how long have we been spinning it. Okay, which is fine. I guess we can keep that. Handle old position. There we go. Okay. So that's fine. We can keep that. Which means when we do the rotation, where do we do the rotation? Keep the handle straight up. That's fine. Angle to point. Yeah, right here. This is where we do the rotation. So we need to do so only if handle is held. Okay. As a matter of fact, there might be some issues that the variables that I've just removed might have been used to fix. Maybe not. Oh yeah, so you can see when I let go, it just stops immediately. Now I wanted to slowly reach the angle. So let's do this then. Let's make it so that final angle is calculated all the time, but it's not calculated to the position of the mouse. It is going to be last mouse position. Get viewport, get mouse position. Perfect. And I think that's quite literally the purpose of that. So we do this. We don't need this anymore then, because we're doing that in the another part of the code. Run the scene. There we go. Nice. And then you can see that the number keeps growing. I believe that is the travel distance number. We're printing it somewhere, right here. Now this needs to be nullified if there's nothing in the slot. Yeah. Okay. So, convert item. If it's not empty, if the slot is empty, this doesn't check if the slot is empty. If the slot empty, or press is lifted, clear the travel distance. Although, should it? I feel like if you grind it and then lift it up, if you grind it, lift it up, and it's not done yet, then you should be able to just drop it back down and continue. I don't think there's a reason for it to be cleared. So we're gonna do this. If we need to check if the slot is empty. Now the slot uses the inventory variable. So we have inventory. We're still using storage here. We're still using storage everywhere. Might have to switch that. Okay. Inventory, storage. I guess if it's empty, like this. So if the storage is empty, then handle travel distance becomes 0. And we should probably do this after this. After we actually add to the handle travel distance. Because otherwise you can like pre-spin the 2 stone wheels and then place an item in it and it'll just be instantly converted. So that's not really good. Okay, nice. Stays as 0. Okay. I like this inventory. That's way better. Also, I figured out the whole 9-patch rect issue. I had to design basically 9 slots of even spaces rather than having like 4 corners and really, really long sides. We'll see how to fix it in the next one. Oh. Okay, so we got this crash. Context menu, show label. That's because we probably used to have... Oh. Hide and show. I think this is actually supposed to be hide and show. There's another node where I had to rename hide and show to hide label and show label, but this is actually... This is supposed to force UI nodes to recalculate their dimensions by hiding and showing them. Okay, there we go. This one's fine. Okay. So we'll do this. I need to redo the cinder ambers. Doesn't look right. Okay. 10. Okay, let me just do like 1. Okay, there we go. Nice. Oh. Invalid get index max stack. I think that that item doesn't have a max stack in it. Every item needs to have a max stack. Let's see. File. Open recent. Masternode? No? Really? No masternode. And there's no like quick open. Alright. Okay, where the heck is the masternode? Masternode. Ah, scripts global masternode.gd. Hello. Shock therapist. Ooh. If you mispronounce that, that's sketchy stuff. Okay. What the hell was the error? I just totally forgot what the error was. Oh, right. In the master node, the item database, I think the dust does not have a max stack. It has a stack. Max stackable. Okay, so GrindyBank conversion table. I just tried combining a couple of items together. So if I take a look at the dust, amber dust gives us warm powder. I don't think we're supposed to be using capital letters here. Also, this data has really got to be stored inside of the items. Just less less stuff to worry about. Okay. Guess this was an attempt to keep all the stackable data together, but everything has a stackable information, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. Warm powder, warm powder, warm ember. What the heck? Grinding bench conversion table. This doesn't make a lot of sense. We might have to redo that. Max stackable. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna run this. Actually, let's get rid of this nonsense. Refer to the contraption you shock. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Okay, I guess we need to get in. Okay, what is this item? It's not in the item database, clearly, because, you know, it failed this. So we do this. Place it. Drop it down. I don't think we can... Oh, well, we can do this when the whole thing's up. That's not good. Okay. Cinder powder is what it's called. Cinder amber produces cinder powder. But that's not a thing. That's why we don't see it. Amber dust. Okay. So it uses a generic item here. Crafting recipes can stay. Grinding bench conversion table. I don't think we need this. Mistakes from the past. Yeah, that's one way to put it for sure. Just, you know, general inexperience, you know. Every system, if you remake it a bunch of times, you find ways to improve on it. So when you go back to older projects, you're like, well, this doesn't make sense anymore. Like, for example, me dividing my inventory into backpack and hotbar. Two separate key value pairs for that. Nah, man. That shit's pointless. Just store it under one same location. Okay. What do we got? Quest data, item database. Yes, so I'm gonna go all the way down here. This is just a generic type thing. Oh. Cinder amber. Oh, already used. Well, that won't do. Where is it used? Right here. Okay, if it's used here, then we should have a sprite for it. And I don't see it. Okay, this is weird. Clearly, wheat seed. Okay, so we have charcoal. Charcoal is very noticeable. It's charcoal, wheat seed, cinder amber. Charcoal, wheat seed. Oh, okay, cinder amber. Oh, right. So it's not cinder amber, it's cinder dust. Okay, this item is amber dust. Okay, so what we can do here is make the dusts just be nondescript. So we have cinder amber, and there could be something crystal and something gem. Once we grind them down, they're going to be turned into dusts. Not cinder dust, not amber dust, just dusts. That's what I'm thinking, at least. Making a beautiful game. Thank you. Appreciate it. So now it should actually exist. We're going to give max stack of 16 for these, 32 for the dust. Okay, let's go 0.5, 0.5, so it's not too in your face. It's a little better. I think if we go 0.5, 0.5, it's just going to be like gray. So if we go 0.75 on the red, it should be a light red. Or we could just use a color selector. It's kind of pale. Yeah, sure. That works. Okay. Now it should no longer complain when I try to stack them. Okay, do this right now. No, still complains. Max stack. So it's complaining that the max stack does not exist. And yet, here it is. Oh, cinder, amber, cinder, dust. Okay. It's in the item slot. So what do we have here? We go my inventory node, inventory category, my number, max stack. Yeah, it's a bit of a it's a bit of a bug. God damn. Okay, it's a bit of a bug with the grinding station. Handle travel distance, that's not it. Let's just quickly fix that. Okay, press level. It's between 0 and 100. Press level scalar. This interpolates the position. So press level, I suppose we need to do handle travel distance. So if press level is less than, what, 10, then we allow this to happen. Okay. Right, but that's besides the point. We still have this issue. Now, my number. Let me try that again. So there's either no item there, or there is an item and it's legitimately missing. You know what? I think it is missing something, because when we grind something down, we're actually using this grinding bench conversion table. This tells us what gets converted into what. So, first of all, we're using item names instead of item IDs. It works, but it sucks. And as you can see, we have a stack, but there's no max stack. Okay, so we have war member. I guess this just needs to be a correlation table then. So we have a key, and we have a value. So warm dust, and then Simber Amber will be converted to Cinder Dust. And then this has to be also item name or item ID. Wham Dust. Beautiful. Cinder Dust. Okay. So it's a conversion table. That's good. We could also add like additional parameter, like how long do you have to spin for it? Because right now you have to spin every single crystal. What is it? Crystal dust or amber for like 10 cycles or 10 of distance, whatever that unit of measurement is. Warm amber, warm dust, cinder amber, cinder dust, Cinderella. Beautiful. The grinding station needs to actually use this now. Okay. So we're not using names, we're using ID. Same thing, ID. Oh yes, as a matter of fact, when we access the grinding bench, we use the inventory ID. Check for the ground items present in the conversion table. Yes, if it is, get the original amount, clear the handle distance. If I'm using dictionary can lead to you vulnerable to typos? Yeah, of course. The solution is don't make typos. Okay. Original amount, inventory, storage, 0, stack. Okay, that's how much we've placed. And then this is how much we converted to. And this is where we overwrite the item. Uh-huh. Okay, so master node, grinding bench, conversion table. We access the item. Oh, okay, here we go. So this is where we used to duplicate the item data there, but no more. You see, there's only one place now where we store the data, which is the master node item database. So we need a variable called converted item ID. We're going to access that. So we'll go to the grinding bench conversion table, use the ID of the currently inserted item, which should be warm amber or cinder amber, and then we get this in response. So that gets the converted item ID. Then we'll go to the master node, item database, we access this item, and then duplicate that, do the deep duplication, so all the contents get duplicated as well if there's multiple nested contents. That becomes the item data, and then we modify the stack to be equals to the original amount. I think that's it. I was considering making multiples, like if you put 1 cinder amber, you get 4 in response. But that could cause a conundrum. Oof. Excuse me? Audio? Hello? Godot does that sometimes. It's really weird. But yeah, that could cause a Ganado where we put like 64 ambers and get like 5,000 dusts. Okay, hold on. I think I need to do something here. Adios, old fucky wucky. Disable, enable. Come on, you old piece of shit. You ain't gonna retire until the blue smoke comes out. It's a audio, external audio card. Come on. Nice. Alright, so we gotta give it amber. Place one. Okay, nice. So that doesn't add up until we drop it. Okay, that's interesting. He just keeps going. Okay. Why does it just keep going? Inventory, storage has stack. Well, all of them have stack. We need to know if it's not empty. I think that's it. We could have it convert one by one instead of all at once. All we need to do is just to have 2 inventory slots. Okay. I don't think we need this. Okay. If the handle has traveled more than 10 units and... Oh, 10 units times the stack of items that's in there. I believe we made it sure that every item has a stack amount. Even if those that can only be stacked once. It is the law. Okay. Then what do we do? Master node, grinding bench conversion table has inventory, storage, grab the item ID that we have placed. Converted item ID. So this must not be passing then. Now what item did we try to convert? Cinder amber. Okay. And then does that item have a conversion table entry? Yep. Okay. Let's try this. Ground done. Whoops. And then here we're gonna do item generated. Oh. It did convert it. Okay, so it works. If I do another one. Nice. Nice, and we can stack them together. Beautiful. Okay. Cool. Now, I noted that even though we had the dust in it still kept accumulating. And I figured maybe we should make it so that it doesn't accumulate if the item that we put in does not exist on the conversion table. We could also say if the item doesn't exist in conversion table, by grinding it to turn it into a pile of crap. Like, what do you expect is gonna happen? Oh boy. Okay. So here's what we can do. If the press is less than 10, so the lid is down, and inventory not empty, and master node conversion table has this item, then it is going to allow us to add the travel distance. So if we do this, nope, that's good. If we do this, nice. And if we do like half of them, it works. Nice. Now this is curious. The door seems to interact even though we're nowhere near it. Also, this door right here is invisible. Door frame. Now, why does this door interact? I believe I wanted to make this door interact based on player proximity or mouse proximity. Let's see. Close interactable. Yes. Let's see. So we get close interactable. If body is in the group close interactable, key interactable array. Okay. Enable object filtering or openable object filtering. Okay. If the close interactable is not null and input is actually just pressed open, we interact with it. So here, when we interact, we get this. Interact called. If it's locked, it's locked. If not, then it does something else. I mean, that should be the extent of it. Now, it could potentially be that this door is the closest interactable. It's just not showing us the label. I think that might be it. Let's see. Yep. Interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at that open label. Icons, locked, close, open, use. Show label, icon null. The door needs to show the label right here. Show label. Okay, but what kind of label? Oh, that's why it doesn't work. Because the open label expects to be provided with a value here, and if none is provided, then we get nothing. This should have really, well, crashed the game, but we did ask if it's not null. So I suppose we get what we programmed. Okay, so that means that with the generic door, we need to make it show the locked. If focused and not locked, and not open, and interactable, I guess we just do open. Else, well, else what? Else, I guess it's locked. Ooh, easy. Where is it? I lost it. Generic door. Locked or open. Okay. Let's give that a test. Nope. Okay. Well, now. Technically, this should be a part of the process. If focused and not locked, not open and interactable, it should show the label of open. Okay. Technically, if it's open and interactable, then if it's locked, or if it's not locked and not open, then we do this. Okay, let's do this. If it is locked and not open, then we do this. No, if it's locked, then it's got to show locked. I might just, you know what, for the sanity's sake, I'll just separate these. I vaguely recall spending just as much time figuring out this logic, and you know what, whatever. So, if it's focused and interactable, then if it's locked, it cannot be possibly open. So if it's locked, it's this. Else, or if it's not locked, but it's not open, we say show the open texture. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's a hide label. Okay. This would be show label, open. And if it's not focused, if it's not focused, or if it is focused but not open, scale X for the animation player. Scale X is a physical scale. If you want to play the animation backwards, you got to do play backwards. But if you're asking about why I'm using door close animation, it's because there's a signal called animation finished that you can use to detect when an animation is finished, and it will tell you what is the name of the animation's finished. So the problem is that if you're just playing the door open animation in reverse, it'll tell you, oh yeah, door open animation is finished, but it was actually being played in reverse, which means you have to do additional checks for like speed the animation speed to be negative. And I don't want to do that. So I was like, okay, separate animation it is. Okay, now, if it's not focused, then we're going to hide label. Okay, let's see this. Do you want the animation to flip it? Scale X. Now, Scale X -1 would work, but there's also a dedicated the dedicated property called flip H and flip V on the sprite and animated sprite. Hey, okay. Now this doesn't go away. Okay. Oh, you know what? It's because it is setting focused to false. Okay. Interesting. The process. If I use scale X, the character keeps flipping constantly. Well, if you make scale X equals to -1, it's just going to be -1. But if you do scale X minus equals 1, then you're subtracting 1 from it. Unless, actually, no, if you do times equals -1. Also, maybe you have a piece of code that flips them back. And the two are just constantly at each other's throats. Okay, if it's focused and interactable, then if it's locked, oh yeah, so technically, else, if it's neither focused or interactable, it should just hide the label. I think that's it. Okay, well that's not really right. Interesting. Okay, see, that's not correct. What? Excuse me? What? That's not supposed to be the case. What? How? Oh, it sets each and every single focus thing to true. Whoops, how did I not catch that earlier? That should have caused a lot more errors. Only here, the closest interactable is the final one is supposed to be set to focus to true. Interesting. Also, technically, if it's not null, then focused of that node becomes true. And then, if we choose to press a button, then we interact with it. Okay. Let's see this. I figured by this point I would have had that system pretty well established. There we go. Okay. This is a pretty small collision shape. Exclamation mark var doesn't actually change the variable. It just returns the opposite of that value if it's a boolean. Okay, there's the area 3D. This is for detecting if the player has left, but if we're using a focused variable, that's not really required. Area 3D. There's a static body here. That looks like it's to block the player from standing on top of it. Literally nothing here is a part of the group. How the hell are we interacting with this stuff? Okay, this is actually weird. Let's see. Okay, so there's nothing in the search. This guy? Not in the group. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's just really, really stupid, but it's detecting the player. Oh. Oh yeah, this is like really old stuff. Yeah, dang. The player's not the one that's actually detecting the object, it's the object that's detecting the player. That's not good. Yeah, we don't want this to be the case. Player node allow movement. Right, so this is like really early code where every single object had to do player detection. Instead, we've switched it to something a bit more appropriate, where the player simply collects a list of nearby objects and figures out the closest one. So, I'm gonna go ahead and change the system to that. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Process. It's gonna be focused. False. At the end of the process, we're gonna make focused become false. And here, if focused is true, we're gonna make it show the label, and then else hide label. Okay. That's good. So this is just for showing the focus property. Now, this thing needs to be detectable, so we're going to do close interactable, copy that node group, go here, grinding station, change type, static body. Okay, sure. Or you can just crash and make me lose all that progress. Okay, so what do we lose? Grinding station. Process. Yeah. Okay, so all this stuff's got to go. Give it a focused variable. Okay. That's generic door. Go back here. Process. If focused, then I need to copy this show label. Hide label. Okay, now to make this work, the grinding station has to change type. There we go. Static body, and from the door, we're going to borrow the node group. And then pop it in here. Close interactable. Now this means that it doesn't need an area 3D. And it doesn't need, well, technically we do need the collision shape from that static body, but we don't need the static body itself. Damn, that's a lot less work. Okay, cool. So now it has player near. And this has to do with like opening, closing the interface. I think we're gonna do func interact player node. Okay. When we interact, when the player interacts with this thing, it will run its interact function. And I suppose we need to do this. Inventory open. This is a local variable. So we're going to take this here. If focused or not, or I guess if focused and not inventory open, show the use button. Otherwise, don't do anything. Okay, and then we need to block the player movement. So once we interact with it, if the inventory has become open, we stop player movement. Otherwise, we allow player movement. And this is done on the per interaction basis. Okay. Let's see here. So that's why the grinding bench didn't actually behave when we went up to the door, the locked door that has a grinding bench next to it. The grinding bench seems to have behaved by its own. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Nice. There you go. So, not nice. Okay. Something that we've forgotten to do is the focused property has to be set to false here. It's set to false every time at the end of the process cycle. Okay. Okay, well now we're crashing. That exists function stop movement to base nil. Right, because player node doesn't exist. We're gonna back out the player. Okay, there's only 4 places where we use this. And yeah. I don't think we need to have a reference to the player for this in this case. Let's try that again. Nice. Okay. And then we can do this. We can't walk away. Press use. There we go. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. If focused and inventory open. Then show, otherwise hide. Oh, yeah, it's all good. It's because this prop also has its own built-in player detection stuff. So yeah, just need to change this out for the new system. Okay, there we go. Mixing station. Nice. Save. Materials. There we go. It's the animation player somehow messing with the scale. If you're animating transforms, or you literally have like a scale track, then yeah, that ought to happen. Okay. So we need to repeat the same process. Copy the group. Okay. And then this thing func var focused false func process focused becomes false in the end. And we're just gonna copy this. We don't need this area detecting the player. That's not required. Okay. Inventory open. False. Okay. And then func interact. Player's going to be passed along. Inventory open is going to flip inventory open. Now, right now, all of these props block the player movement. I do wonder if maybe I should let the player move around and just detect if that prop is no longer focused. And just, you know, be like, okay, well, if it's not focused, then close the inventory. I feel like that might be a wiser solution. Let's see. Else, if one of these is false, inventory open becomes false. Okay. I think that should do it. Check your reset animation. Your reset... Excuse me. The reset animation is created when you have the checkbox, and you know what it does. It might have created a scale track when you were messing around with it. Okay. There we go. Josh. Remember this game we were working on? Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we interact with it and it just like auto closes itself for some reason. Inventory becomes open if it's focused and Oh, right. And not open show use, but as soon as it becomes open, it does this. I guess we can do if not focused, inventory open false. So we're going to say auto close inventory if player walks away. There we go. Nice. And then when we walk away, does that. Although we can kind of still interact with it really far away. But that's because our player does a distance check. Closest key interactable distance. I'm not sure why I'm calling it key interactable distance. Weird. Okay. It's within 7 units, or 7 meters. Okay. That's fine. Let's just, as a last thing, let's fix up all of these stations. Okay, mixing station. This is not mixing. This is dilution station. Mixing, yeah, this dilution station. Cool. Okay. Same concept. Oh, not what I wanted to do. Static body. Let's copy the node group. I've been procrastinating on this feature, these stations, for way too long. I think it's about time I just finish them. Okay, so don't need the area. Give it the collision shape. Don't need the static body. Okay. And then don't need this. So pretty much just copy all this stuff. It's all placeholder code anyways. Okay. And then this is the last one. Okay, this is a press of some kind. Crystal press. Nice. Ooh. Low res. Is that actually 2K? It is. God damn. Fancy. Okay. I guess it is better to paint these textures in higher resolution early on. Okay. Fair enough. So that should be it. I think all the stations should be properly filtered out. Nice. Oh, this one doesn't. We got the node group. There we go. That should do it. Oh, the door doesn't also play the closing sound. Nice. Okay, that should open the other way. Feels like this house has gotten quite louder. Also, the music is messed up. It's still playing the interior sound. Alright, so you know what? We'll wrap it up here. An hour and a half to fix this up. I'd say that's pretty decent. Nice. Cool. What else needs to be done? We got all these things, missing their materials. Oval mirror. Yeah. What do we got here? Maybe I can just fill in these little bits and pieces here. Metallic. And then roughness. Okay, and I think I wanted to give it reflections, right? Screen space reflections. Oh, it's already doing them. Nice. Yeah, there's like an environment reflection probe node. Cool, and it's like doing a environment scan. That's really cool. Nice. There it is. All sorts of creepy. Okay, what else? We have the bed. I don't know if I've textured the bed. We have the cabinet. Did I texture the cabinet? Nightstand? Nope. Nope. Okay. All right. So that's the extent of it. I think this door, I might want to make it flip this way. And then in terms of the spawn location, I think I want to change where the spawn location is at. You know what? We can easily do that by turning this into a tool script. And then let's make a export variable. Spawn flip false. But when we set this value, we're going to do what? We have this little sphere. And it indicates where the player is going to spawn. So this is on the x-axis. So 0.743. So we're going to do if or I guess we need to forward. Spawn flip will contain the new value. Okay. Unrecognized annotation export. There we go. And it's a variable, of course. Okay. So spawn flip will inherit the new value. Then if not spawn flip, then this node dot position on the x-axis is going to be this number. I guess we can do it as a ternary operator. So it's going to be this number if not spawn flip, else it's going to be the positive version of this number. Okay. Cool. And then if we do spawn flip, doesn't do squat. Why not? Do we have to like close it? Close everything? Save. Yeah. Oh, now does this function hide label on base node? Oh, come on. Spawn flip. You bloody well, very well know what I mean. Let's see. Godot 69. So if editor or engine is editor hint, return. Don't run it if it's running in the editor. Now be gone. Okay. I'm also going to say same thing in the ready function, because it kind of hid my label. Where's the door? This thing. It's still here. It's still here and here. What about this? Nice. And then, beautiful. Okay, so that allows me to rotate the door. Nice. Beautiful. Okay. Maybe I want the transition, by the way, to be a little bit slower. That whole circle transition. Screen fill rect. Nope, that's not here. It's in overlay GUI. Nope. Ah, yes, it's right there. Circle fade. So let's take this fade animation. Fade in circle. Let's do 1.5. There we go. Flip H works. Probably have like 11 body parts. Yeah, well, you gotta have to do for 11 body parts. I mean, what is this? 11 lines of code? Ooh. Oh no. How will I bear? Nice. Yeah. Man, that's really cool. Circle transition really helps. I feel like the fog is a little too encroaching. Fog distance 0.043. Okay. Oh, that's really encroaching. Can't even see anything. Can we get the transition to be a little bit faster? Let's see. What was the button? Whoops. Oh, that crashed. Oh? No, it didn't. What's the button for environmental stuff? Right there. There we go. Okay, so that's 0.1. That's 0.05. Okay, I suppose that's fine. Can work with this. Yeah, you can put them with the children. You can also just have an array with just the node references, so you don't have to move your node hierarchy. We do have an issue with the players getting stuck on the terrain here. Gonna have to figure that out. Wait, every time I press the spacebar, it presses the button. Well, now. I like this inventory way more. Well, that was me trying to scavenge whatever that is. Mechanical method get child count of null instance. Player get node storage parent. Oh, storage parent node is not a thing anymore. Okay. I'm gonna put something on the list. And that is going to be... Let's see. Remove storage from all code and unify inventory into one data, I guess, one place. All right, that's going to be the important thing that we'll do next, but for now, I'll have to take a break. Nice long break. Cool. That's going to be a big one, but it's also going to make my life a lot easier in the long run. See ya. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.